Hey, Mike here. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic that holds true to my heart. Actually, more specifically, holds more true to my intestines. And that's celiac disease. Celiac disease is when someone who eats gluten, which is commonly found in bread, rye, wheat, barley, that there's a protein called gluten. That gluten actually, as it goes through you, can actually get lodged in between the small intestines, the villi in your small intestines specifically. And those villi are little finger-like projections that will absorb nutrients. So if you keep eating gluten or get exposed to gluten, what happens is those actually end up getting eroded over time. And they actually get smaller and smaller and smaller. And over time, if you keep getting exposed to gluten, your body will have trouble absorbing nutrients. So you'll get actually nutrient deficient. Definitely lose a lot of weight. About 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with celiac. I had no idea what was wrong with me. Had to come up with a method of trying to figure it out, so I actually started journaling. The reason why I journaled was because I needed to keep track of everything that I ate. And by doing that, I could eliminate certain foods, or at least I would try to eliminate. It's like, oh, I'm having these issues. I see this food, this food, this food. Maybe the first thing I tried to eliminate was dairy. I ate a lot of pizza, lasagna. So I was like, oh, okay, so let's try eliminating dairy. And after a couple weeks where that didn't help, I then tried other foods. Eventually, that led me to trying to eliminate gluten. And at first, it didn't work. And that's because eliminating gluten for 1 week may not help some people. Eventually, it took me to eliminating gluten for 2 weeks before I actually started feeling better. Blood tests, they'll try to see if you have an immune response to gluten, the antibodies in your blood. I tested positive, so therefore I had celiac. But that sometimes can give you a false positive. Another method to tell is literally do a endoscope, down your throat all the way into your intestines and take a biopsy. That's what they did, and tested positive for celiac there as well. What are some symptoms of celiac? You have diarrhea. You have brain fog. Those first two are common with me when I have celiac. I have diarrhea and I get brain fog, kind of like I'm drunk. I don't make any sense. So some people may also experience gas, fatigue, depression, and anxiety. The anxiety aspect is being afraid of going out to eat anywhere other than your house. This happens to me personally. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've actually gotten fights with my wife about going out to eat. She'll be like, I just want to go out to eat. I want to celebrate, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want to get sick, blah, 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 blah. And that sucks. That's a horrible feeling, knowing that I just want to go out and celebrate with my wife and I can't. Or I'm taking a chance of getting sick. And that Russian roulette style chance is just, it brings so much anxiety. It's just not fun. Anytime I go to a friend's house or I go to a restaurant, I get so paranoid that I'm going to get sick. It makes it not fun to eat anywhere other than my house. So like with a friend's house, you go over there, they say, oh yeah, I cleaned all my dishes, we're good. But there are things called cross-contamination, and this can also happen at a restaurant. So cross-contamination is when you have gluten accidentally touch something, and that something, say like a knife, transfers gluten to the gluten-free food. Then I eat the food, or someone else is eating the food that has a gluten allergy, and then they end up getting their gluten not good. I've had experience where I've gone to restaurants, I've ate there, I've been fine, absolutely awesome. I actually will go back and eat there again as long as I know I won't get sick. However, there have been a few times I've gone places and I could tell within 30 minutes that there was some gluten cross-contamination and I get really sick. I either have to run to the bathroom or I get brain fog. Or both. Last time I got sick from my celiacs at a restaurant, I went there, I ordered a steak. They said they had gluten-free pasta. I got that gluten-free pasta along with a salad, made sure no croutons. So the salad, I was fine. I was eating the steak, and I decided to eat some of the gluten-free pasta. When I was eating the gluten-free pasta, I get towards the bottom and I take a scoop through the sauce and I find a string of spaghetti. So this person in the kitchen did not change the strainer. He used the same strainer for the gluten products as the gluten-free products. Of course, I had bathroom issues and brain fog after that. Not good. What are some possible ways to get cross-contamination? Does everyone know what celiac is? No. Do I expect everyone? No. It is becoming very common though, where everyone's going through this gluten-free phase. But it should be, personally should feel safe if I go to a restaurant. I could let them know that, hey, I have celiacs. They should be able to change their gloves. They should use different utensils. Something you may not think about. Someone could be cutting a piece of bread and then go use that knife on some gluten-free bread to cut it. Ooh. Another one is deep fryer. You could fry some breaded chicken nuggets or chicken tenders in a fryer, take them out, and then you want to fry some chicken wings. Chicken wings naturally are gluten-free, but if they get put in a fryer that has had gluten exposure, now that gluten can get onto the chicken wings. So I have to be extra careful whenever I go out to eat. I have to double check with my server that do they feel that I would be safe? I do want to throw out there that I do specify that I have a gluten allergy. I have celiacs, and that I can't have anything touch gluten. 90% of the time, servers have been like, yeah, okay, I'll take care of you. Sometimes, if they seem like they have no idea what I'm talking about, I actually will leave. Because if they don't understand, then I have way more of a shot of getting sick. Now, when you go out to eat, there's never 100% certainty that, yeah, you're going to not get cross-contamination. Another possible way of cross-contamination, gloves. So you might think it's all innocent, like, oh, I'm going to keep my hands clean, I'm going to wash them. But imagine if you're touching bread or you're touching anything with flour with these gloves on. Now all the gluten is on top of your glove. Now you got to grab, like, say a wrap that you're going to make a gluten-free sandwich with. But now all that gluten that was on your glove now goes to the gluten-free bread. And now they can get sick, or I can get sick. Some possible cross-contamination that people don't even think about is a toothbrush. So my wife, who can eat gluten, will brush her teeth with a toothbrush. If she uses that toothpaste on it, that usually the toothpaste touches the toothbrush. I have an air fryer that only non-gluten foods can go in, because I'm afraid that that air current moving around could actually get some gluten somewhere, and then can actually come back in a later time onto my food. It's dishes, pots, pans. I will sometimes share pans with my wife, but after I've washed them personally. I'm paranoid enough that when I go to someone's house, I will pre-clean stuff just so that I don't get sick. All these factors are the reasons why that I personally rather just eat at home so I can stay safe. But if you can go to a place and they actually can limit the amount of chance to get cross-contamination, then that's awesome. Then people with celiacs can actually go out to eat and feel safe. Thank you. And remember, champions are what champions do.